Hey, reach up there and pull those belts tight. One more time, you're watching the original Rebels Racing League.
Welcome back, everybody, to Daytona International Speedway. My name's Josh Holl. This is the second race of our truck doubleheader here tonight. This is the Original Rebels Racing League Holl Sheet Metal Truck Series Bubba's Bargain Barn 150 here at Daytona International Speedway. Currently at the top of the speed chart is the 20 of Charlie Elmore. You see him run a little pack here. He's got, who's that right behind him there? We see the 20 giving a big push to, I believe that's the 47 of Josh Smith. Yes, it is. See Josh Loganvitz and Aaron Adcock working together right now, getting some practice in at the moment. Just saw a thriller in the first race with Jonathan Cofield getting another super speedway win here in the Rebels Racing League. Let's see if we can see much of the same tonight. We're looking for Garrett Kinder, who had a rough outing in the first race. Seeing if he can have a little bit better of a race here tonight. See Christian Deadman back in the familiar colors. New number, though. Number 3. Oh, I'm sorry. He always runs number 3. So Christian Deadman in that 3 machine. See what other drivers we can recognize here. We got the 12 of William Griffith just coming out onto the track as well. Griff with a brand new paint job this season. A little different look for some of these Reaper guys. Both William Griffith and Brandon Wallace having a little different Reaper racing look as well. See if there's anybody else who's got some different looks on their trucks here. Well, 79 of Josh Lokovitz got a new paint job as well. Aaron Adcock with a familiar orange and black 23. Just a little different look to that machine. Jonah Colbert in that classic JC machine. And Jason Lottridge in the KOA camping machine. Well, welcome back, Kernan Church as well. Oops, having a little connection issue there. In the 22 Duluth machine. Spencer Gay also having some new colors there. Oh, as we see Josh Smith get turned around in practice. So Spencer Gay with another little change to his paint job as well. And we've got about 10 seconds left here in practice before we get qualifying underway. We want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Whether you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, don't forget to drop a like, follow, and subscribe if you haven't already. That way you never miss any action here on Intensity Broadcasting. And here we go. Qualifying is about to begin here at this 2.5 mile super speedway, the World Center of Racing, Daytona International Speedway. And let's see if we see who is one of the first trucks out on track here. See the 53 of Tracy Pastons out on track. All right, we got Tracy Passion starting his first of his 2 flying laps here. Keeping that truck right down on that yellow line, trying to keep the speed, take the shortest way around the track. See Daniel Cunningham out on track as well. Take a look who else is out on track. We see Garrett Kinder in the familiar 13 out on track as Tracy Passions goes quickest in this qualifying session. Garrett Kinder, of course, the last season champion of the Rebels Truck Series. Fan favorite. A little different looking paint job than he had last season, but definitely trying to get himself in a position to qualify well and get himself a win here in the opening season race. Jonah Colbert currently up at the top of the board. See Brandon Wallace, another one of those Reaper drivers with a little different paint job. Coming off of turn number 2. Eddie Smith up into the 4th position. Charlie Elmore just making his way on track. So Brandon Wallace jumps on his first lap. He is going to move up into the 4th position on his first lap. See if he's able to improve on that time on his second lap. We see Garrett Kinder just coming down the backstretch now. Pulling a really pretty line through the corner there, right on that double yellow line. And down to the stripe. And Kinder is going to only move up into the 7th position. Brandon Wallace coming off of turn number 4. He's going to come across the stripe and jump up into... Actually, he does not improve on his time. Actually goes slower by a 10th on his second lap. So he's going to stay in that 4th position. See Charlie Elmore on his first of 2 laps right now. Coming down the backstretch. And we'll hear some buzzwords. If you weren't with us in the first race, you'll hear a couple of buzzwords out of me tonight. One of them being energy. That is the line that's moving the best. We'll see these trucks lined up nose to tail, 4, 5, 6, 7, even 8 rows back at times. Whatever line can get lined up the best, that's the line that's going to have the energy, and that's the line that's going to be moving forward. We'll talk about the draft. As these trucks move through the air, they push the air like a wake through water. And if a truck is behind another truck, it actually can help out by pushing the truck in front. So you'll see that draft come into play. We'll talk about the side draft. Now what that is, we were talking about that air that comes across around the truck like a wake. Well, you can actually dump the air from your truck onto the spoiler of the truck on the inside or even the outside of you and slow that truck down. So that's a technique that these drivers will be using tonight as well. Talk about the big one. It's not if the big one happens, it's when the big one happens. These trucks will be all tight together. And if one truck spins out in the front of the pack, it can wipe out the entire field. We saw one wreck tonight that took out at least 17 or 18 trucks in the first race. So watch for that here tonight as Charlie Elmore finishes his second lap. Good enough for 7th. Kyle Roberts starting his flying lap here. And that double yellow line, you see that double yellow line, that is out of bounds. You cannot advance your position below that double yellow line. Now, if you're forced down there, that's another story, but making the move down there is an illegal move. And of course, the new thing that iRacing released this past build that we've seen already in the original Rebels Racing League, and that is the restart zone. So we'll see as Kyle Roberts makes his way back towards the stripe just before the start-finish line. You'll see a blue area that's marked with Geico. That is the Geico restart zone. And the leader has to restart in that zone for caution restarts only. So you see that Geico painted on the track there. So what that is the leader has to maintain, or all drivers have to maintain pace speed until they get to that zone, and then the leader can choose anywhere in that zone that he wants to fire off. If he fires off too early, he is penalized. If he fires off outside or past that zone, then the green flag will come out and the race will resume, whether the leader initiated the start or not. So it does add a new element to the racing here tonight, and we'll see that come into play on restarts. It's already made its effect here in the Outlaw race, so we'll see how that plays into effect here tonight in the Holl Sheet Metal Truck Series. Again, thanks for joining us here tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube. Let us know where you're from, where you're watching, who you're rooting for. We like to know these things. Interact with us. We like to talk and root your drivers on for you. So the chat is open. Feel free to make your presence known. I know there's a couple people I'm expecting to see say hi, such as Kevin Kinder and Ratchet Miller. So I'm sure they'll be tuning in any moment to root on Garrett Kinder. But we have a minute left here in qualifying, which is not enough time for anybody to get out and make a qualifying attempt. Paul Parsons is watching. Paul, it's good to see you as always. As we're getting ready in about 30 seconds to go and grid these trucks up and get ready for 60 laps here at Daytona International Speedway. Mike Veith, thanks for doing what you do. Josh, I do appreciate you, Mike, chiming in. It's a pleasure to be here on Sunday nights with you guys. It's a lot of fun for me. I get to see some great racing. Stacy Adcock says, cheer on Aaron Adcock and Tracy Parsons. Let's go, guys. So here we go. We got about 2 seconds. Yep, qualifying has been completed. And we will take a look at our starting grid. And the Peg Leg Pole Award will go to Jonah Cobert. Tracy Passion starting from the second position. Row 2 will find Christian Deadman and Brandon Wallace, with Kyle Roberts rounding out the top 5. Eddie Smith will start from the 6th position. Tyler Rice and Charlie Elmore will make up row number 4. And Garrett Kinder and Aaron Adcock back in row 5. Jason Lottridge will roll off from 11th, with William Griffith to the outside in the 12th position. 13th will be Josh Smith, with Daniel Cunningham in the 54 rolling off from the 14th position. Mickey Isaac in the 01, he'll be 15th, with 16th belonging to Kernan Church. Nick Schaefer in the 62 will be rolling off from the 17th position, and Josh Oswald in the 17 will be rolling off 18th. Charles Stevens Jr. and Alex Veith round out row number 10, with Josh Lokovitz and Christopher Heiner in the 11th row. Cody Boehm, Spencer Gay, Mike Veith, and Dave Jones round out the rest of the field here at Daytona. 26 trucks taking the grid here tonight. As we get ready to do battle here for 60 laps in the Bubba's Bargain Bin 150. And the pace car is going to lead the field out onto the track. Again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. We're looking forward to a fantastic race here tonight. I'm sure a couple of these guys watched the Outlaw race. May have learned a couple things. May have saw the aggressiveness that there was in the first race. Maybe we'll tone it down just a little bit, try to learn something here. Or if these guys are going to be going at it right from the beginning. Some great views here on track. We'll be using these for our pump up the intensity in a little bit. Watching these trucks come at full song. Right at you. So here we go. Field coming off of turn number 4. Pace car getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Jonah Colbert going to lead him down to the starting zone with Tracy Passions to his outside. Green flag is in the air. And we are racing here at Daytona in the season opener of this Holl Sheet Metal Truck Series. And already Jonah Colbert getting a great push from Christian Deadman down into turn number 1. And right behind Deadman is his teammate Kyle Roberts. We see in the Reaper Boys already doing a little business here up at the front. But Tracy Passions with a big shove from Brandon Wallace, another Reaper driver. And Eddie Smith right there as well. So Tracy Passions gets out to the lead here. And now Brandon Wallace trying to take the lead from the front bumper of the 87 of Eddie Smith. As they come off of turn number 4 for the first time, who's going to lead the first lap? Will it be Wallace? Will it be Passions? Down to the stripe, and Brandon Wallace is going to have the first lap of the season with the big shove from Eddie Smith down into turn number 1. Couple drivers in the back already making some big moves. Josh Oswald gained 5 positions on that first lap. As up front, everybody's all nice, tightly packed. Towards the back, they're starting to spread out just a little bit. And we'll see that tonight. These drivers kind of spreading out, falling back to the back just a little bit. Trying to keep themselves out of trouble for when that big one strikes. It's not if we have a big one, it's when we have the big one. Tracy Passions now back out in front with the shove from Jonah Colbert. And now Brandon getting back out into the lead. Field pretty much double file all the way through. And a couple drivers towards the back starting to fall back just a little bit. As we see Brandon Wallace still up on that high side. Not quite clear of Tracy Passions. Not able to pull down underneath. Eddie Smith gets a little loose there. Might have been a little contact from the 20 of Charlie Elmore that got him out of shape. But able to hold on to it. Now that bottom lane is going to have the energy as Eddie Smith had to check up to keep from running into the back of Brandon Wallace. As the energy transposes back up to that high side. Now Brandon Wallace back trying to nose ahead barely with the lead as they go through turns 1 and 2. They are side by side by side, 10 rows deep. These look like 190-mile-an-hour pace laps right now. As neither Brandon Wallace or Tracy Passons can get anything really going and separate themselves. Now Brandon Wallace falls back just a little bit as Eddie Smith had to get out of it. That accordion's an entire back row, but here comes Brandon Wallace working that side draft again. As mentioning it in the pre-race, the draft is these trucks, as they move through the air, they push the air like a wake of water around them. Think of a boat cutting through the water, that big wake that comes off. Well, the air is the same way. And while these trucks have that big spoiler on the back, if you can get right down on the door of your opponent, you can actually dump all that air, that big wake of air coming off your truck onto their spoiler and slow them down tremendously. You can slow them down 5 to 10 miles an hour at times if you're doing it right. And that can really give you an advantage. Usually it's about 2 to 5 miles an hour advantage with the side draft, but if you're really good at it and you dump a ton of air on there and it's just one truck out there, he's separated, you can really slow that truck down. But right now, we're still double file throughout the field. Everybody kind of just feeling out their trucks, trying to feel who they can work with, how these trucks work in the draft. See Jonah Colbert right on the back bumper of Tracy Passons. And another thing we talk about is the air into these engines. So we'll take a look off the back bumper of Jonah Colbert, and you see these off Eddie Smith, and you see that little opening that we're underneath where it says Tundra that you see on Charlie Elmore's front end there. That is all the air that gets into these motors to cool them off. So if you continue to push on that truck in front of you, you can really heat up that engine and cause some damage and cause that motor to detonate and cause some problems for those behind you. We'll watch these drivers tonight as they try to keep their engines cool while trying to get the maximum push. It's kind of a bit of a balancing act as we see Tracy Passons back out in front with a big push from Jonah Colbert. And as we work lap number 8, let's do one of my favorite segments. Let's do a little pumping up of the intensity. Gives you a good sense of speed of these trucks as they make their way around this 2.5 mile oval. Not much has really changed up at the front as Tracy Passons and Brandon Wallace continue to battle for the lead. Tracy's still getting a good shove from that 31 of Jonah Colbert. And again, Jonah's got to be careful not to overheat his truck. You see Christian Deadman right there on the back bumper of the 31. That's the best place that 3 can be. He doesn't want to push on that 31 because that can really upset that middle truck. But just being right there on the back bumper is giving him a tremendous push and help. As we see that bottom lane have all the energy right now, that top lane starting to fall back just a little bit. It's already 10 laps in. Tracy Parsons has led most of them as him and Brandon Wallace have been going back and forth for the lead. Now Brandon Wallace starting to fall back. Maybe Eddie Smith starting to get a little hot, having to cool off his truck. See Eddie Smith back here running in the 6th position. Trying to push that 99 of Brandon Wallace up towards the front, but right now that top lane starting to fall back, and I think Eddie might have just gotten a little too hot. He's out there trying to cool it down. That's exactly what it looks like. Now he's got that truck cooled back down, trying to make a run back towards the front. And you got to be careful that you're pushing right on the center of the bumper. You can either push on the center or you can push a little bit to the right. But you don't want to be to the left of center because that can spin that truck right around. Now you see Jonah Colbert pushing back on the 53. Tracy Parsons getting back out in front. So far, everybody just kind of playing mild right now. I think too many people saw all the wrecks that went on in the first race, and these drivers trying to take it a little easy, trying to get to halfway before starting to get a little wild. See a hole there down on the bottom lane. See if Charlie Elmore ducks down into the bottom lane or if he stays up with the rest of the field. He is going to stay right up there. And Brandon Wallace almost getting clear of the 53 of Adcock. I know Eddie's in a position right now where he's begging that 99 to get clear and drop down in front so he can get some air to the front end of his truck. Every time it looks like Brandon Wallace might get clear, Tracy Parsons gets a great run back on that bottom lane and just doesn't allow Brandon Wallace to get back down underneath. See the trucks snake down the backstretch, and Brandon Wallace thought he was clear for a second, but was not able to make the move. And these trucks, they load up the suspension so much in the corner. They're so much more stable in the corner than they are on the straightaway. And you see just how much these trucks move around on the straightaways compared to how steady they are as they make their way through the corners. That's typically why you see the big wrecks happen on the straightaways at Daytona and Talladega and not so much in the corners, is because the air moves these trucks around so much. They're so unstable in a straight line. But as they go into these high banked corners, all that load, all that downforce comes into play, and the trucks really get stable through the corners. Eddie Smith had to back off a little bit, cool that engine. Now he's working on getting Brandon Wallace back up towards the front as we are 15 laps into this 60-lap event. We see a couple of holes popping up now through the field. We see the gap from the 3 of Christian Deadman back to Kyle Roberts. That's going to slow down the progression. Ooh, it was a little connection glitch right there. Sorry about that. That's really going to change the energy as they make their way through the field. Ooh, Garrett Kinder gets a little out of shape, gets down onto the apron there. We take a look at Kinder's progress. Currently running in the 12th position, down 3 positions, last year's champion. And the caution is out. I believe it looks like it's for the 47 of Josh Smith. Well, it might have been for Alex Veith as well. We'll have to go to the Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind. This looks like it started way in the back of the field. Let's see if we can use the blimp here to use our biggest wide view. Yeah, when Garrett Kinder got a little down onto the apron, it checked up a bunch of people in the back. So let's see. Cody Bohm goes. Is that Josh Smith in the 47? It is. So Josh Smith gets checked up just a little bit, makes contact with the 62 of Nick Schaefer, gets up into the air, and then you see Alex Veith get run over from behind by the 1 of Christopher Heiner. Spencer Gay gets collected in this one as well. That's going to bring most people, I think most people are going to come down to pit road here. And Brandon Wallace was the leader at the time that the yellow came out. And yeah, we see a bunch of trucks. Tracy Passons, Charlie Elmore, Kyle Roberts, Aaron Adcock, Josh Lokovitz, Nick Schaefer, Mickey Isaac, Chris Heiner, Mike Veith, Curtin Church, Carl Stevens Jr., Alex Veith, Josh Smith obviously coming down to get some repairs done. All making their way down on the pit road. We know they can't make it to the end, so some of these guys maybe thinking we might have one more caution that would allow them to make it to the end. Well, while we're under caution, we want to thank everybody again for tuning in tonight. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. It does really help us out. Another way you can help us out is with our web store. Down below, there's a link to intensitybroadcasting.com where you can find hats, t-shirts, coffee mugs. I've got my Intensity Broadcasting hat on right now. I've got the Flex Fit hat. We've also got t-shirts, mouse pads, coffee mugs. But not just that. Now Atlee Atman Weiss has his merchandise as well. We know Atlee has his Bandolero career going on, and you can support him as well. We got some other novelty shirts. You know, our Cautions Breed Cautions, the big bushy bearings. So check those out. Plus, we got some other drivers who are going to be putting their merch on here as well. Of course, our Elite Collections, Original Rebels, Mayhem Modifieds, Stream Forces, SCSRA. So you can check all this out at intensitybroadcasting.com. There is a link below. We do appreciate the support. Also want to thank our series sponsors. A couple new sponsors coming on this year. We have the, let's see here. We have the Cofield Asphalt Hard Luck Award and the Paints by No Neck as the best paint. So we've got a couple new sponsors coming on board. Of course, Holl Heat and Sheet Metal continuing their sponsorship of the league. We do appreciate the support. As the lights are off on the pace car, we're getting ready to go back green flag racing. We got to make sure to pay the bills. Of course, Kinder Farm and Ranch coming back on board as the Wreckage Rewind. We're getting ready to use that restart zone for the first time. So again, your leader, Brandon Wallace, has to maintain pace speed until he reaches that blue restart zone. He can fire off anytime inside of it as long as he's inside that zone. If he fires off early, he'll get black flagged. If he fires off late, the green flag will come out and race will resume. But he fires right in the middle, and we are back to green flag racing. Eddie Smith dropping down behind that 99, move Eddie Smith up into the second position. Then Jonah Colbert up into third. And how about William Griffith into the fourth position and Christian Deadman back in fifth. See Tyler Rice in that sixth machine all by himself. But he's got Tracy Pastons and a whole group of trucks up on that high side starting to make their way forward as well. So Tyler's not going to be in too much trouble as he's got some help coming. But at the moment, he's just starting to fall back. Tracy Pastons, Aaron Adcock, Josh Lokovitz all lined up on that high side coming to help Tyler Rice up on the high side. But this is Garrett Kinder back up into the seventh position. So Kinder's kind of set his sights on just riding here tonight for the first part of this race. We'll see what he does towards the end. We saw the wild move that he made Friday night in the Grand National race. See if he makes a similar move here tonight to try to get the win in the Rebels Truck Series. Starting to see two distinct packs breaking apart right now. We've got our lead pack led by Brandon Wallace. See Tyler Rice and Tracy Pastons making a move up on the high side. Then a little further back, you see a couple drivers. It looks like Christopher Heiner leading this second group that's kind of just hanging back a little ways off the front group. They've got enough to sniff a draft where they can stay up with the lead group if they need to get themselves back up towards the front. But they're also in a position where if something was to happen that they could avoid that big wreck, as Tyler Rice now trying to take over the lead to the outside of Brandon Wallace. And that high lane has the energy flowing. A bunch of teammates lined up on the high side. They make their way off of turn number 4. And we complete lap number 23. And Tyler Rice is going to lead that lap over Brandon Wallace. Now we've seen that high side get up towards the front. We've seen that high side take the lead, but we haven't actually seen that high side get clear of that low lane. So we'll see if Tyler is able to make something happen up there. They are coming up on the lap truck of Nick Schaefer. You see that black truck just coming in this view on the bottom of the screen, that black and yellow machine as they come off of the tri-oval. And we'll see where that lap truck does. The lap truck decides to stay low on the apron, getting out of the way. It's nice to see a truck that's not quite on pace to get off the track and let the pace proceed as Tyler Rice and Brandon Wallace continue to battle side by side. We're just 5 laps away from halfway. Again, we see that high side almost get clear, but just not quite enough to get around. See that bright orange truck a little further back? That is Josh Smith up on the high side. Caught up in an earlier wreck. Now he's using that high side to his advantage. He's trying to move himself up towards the front. He's got enough of a sniff of draft of that second line where he's going to have some speed and he's going to be able to get himself up into contention here. As we are back to having one full pack. A couple drivers making some big moves left to right. Kyle Roberts moving up to the high side, right behind the 79 of Lokenvitz. And now Tyler Rice was almost clear of Brandon Wallace. I thought he was clear for just a moment, but was not quite clear. And he's got Tracy Passions all over that back bumper trying to move him out in front. Eddie Smith now on the bottom, still pushing Brandon Wallace. He's been pushing him pretty much all race long. And he's been doing a good job of keeping Brandon right out in front. And that second car on the bottom line, he can really control the entire race in that second spot. He can push the leader to try to keep the leader out in front. He can pull the leader back to let the high lane have a little bit of an advantage. But that's kind of what he's doing right now, is he's not quite letting Tyler Rice get clear of Brandon Wallace and letting Tyler Rice down on the bottom. But now Tyler Rice and Tracy Passions were almost both just clear Brandon Wallace. Tyler Rice was for sure, and he is still. Tyler Rice not letting his wingman go. He's trying to pull Tracy Passions right by as well. See a lot of patience out of these drivers tonight, unlike what we saw in the first race. But once we get down to about 10 laps to go, that patience is going to go away. We're going to see some big moves out of some of these drivers, I'm sure. We might see some 3 wide, possibly even 4 wide for the lead. As Tracy Passions is going to make it 3 wide now. He's going to dump the 6 of Tyler Rice, and he's going to send that 6 all the way back to the back of the pack. As we see, Tyler Rice have a little connection blip there. And he's going to tuck down in front of Charlie Elmore. And now we've got teammates Aaron Adcock and Tracy Passions leading this race side by side. And Tracy's going to get down in front of, Aaron's going to get down in front of Uncle Tracy. And Aaron Adcock's going to take over the lead of this race. So Paul Passions and Stacy Adcock are cheering on as their drivers are currently running 1-2 on the bottom side. And Tracy giving a big shove to Aaron Adcock down the backstretch. When we cross the line this time, it will be halfway. See Josh Lokenvitz up on the high side. He's known as a bit of a super speedway king as everybody starts coming down on the pit road. Look at them come, spreading out. Brandon Wallace barely able to get slowed down. Eddie Smith, Jonah Colbert, Christian Deadman, William Griffith. We see Garrett Kinder on pit road, Josh Oswald, Jason Lottridge, Curtin Church, Cody Bohm, Davey Jones. So a bunch of trucks out on track or on pit road right now. And that leaves 7 trucks in this front pack. And then another 5 trucks in the second pack back. Everybody was able to get on and off of pit road cleanly. Now the only question is everybody able to get back in line cleanly? Now they all are back lined up, led by the 13 of Garrett Kinder. Curtin Church out in front by quite a bit, and he's going to be hurting himself being that far out in front of this pack, as once they catch him, they're just going to go right on by. Look at Tyler Rice up on the high side by himself, hanging tight side by side with Aaron Adcock, as Josh Lokovitz now takes over the lead of this race with Kyle Roberts. And they are coming up on the lap truck of Dave Jones. Tyler Rice up there by himself, still trying to make the move. Now he's got some help. Aaron Adcock and Tracy Passons coming up for the battle as well. We're back to 3 wide racing. Aaron Adcock in the middle. Almost gets to the side, Tyler Rice. Josh Lokovitz on the low side. See the 10 of Dave Jones, who's lapped down, but trying to help out where he can. Kyle Roberts trying to figure out which lane he wants to go with. He's going to stick in the middle. Aaron Adcock's going to drop down to take the lead. Tyler Rice is going to push up the track a little bit, enough to let Tracy Passons make that middle lane work. Here comes Kyle Roberts as well. Now Josh Lokovitz and Josh Smith are behind the 23 of Aaron Adcock, as Tracy Passons takes the lead with a push from the 35 of Kyle Roberts. And they're going to drop down in front of Aaron Adcock and leave Tyler Rice all by himself on that high side yet again. So we know most of these drivers in this front pack were last on pit road on lap 18, minus Tyler Rice. Tyler Rice has not pit yet. When we cross the line next time by, we'll have just 25 laps to go. I don't think Tyler Rice is going to be able to stay out there much longer. As his fuel level must be getting kind of low, running up on that high side like he has been. Now he's going to tuck down. Yeah, there he goes, making his way down on the pit road. He's going to bring a few other people with him to pit road. It's like the one of Christopher Heiner, Mickey Isaac, Mike Veith, Alex Veith, Spencer Gay, Charles Stevens Jr. all on pit road. So that's going to give the lead solidly to the 53 of Tracy Passons. Now, here's the interesting thing. Last time by, Tracy Passons ran a 50-30. Last time by, Garrett Kinder ran a 48-57. So this second group is catching that first group. Now, they are 31 seconds behind. But they are pushing as hard as they can, and they can make it to the end. Now, Tracy Passons, this group back here, looks like they're backing off just a little bit, trying to run a little bit slower. But I don't believe they can make it to the end. They're going to have to top off to make it to the end. So we'll see if this group tries to save a little bit of fuel, or if they just go for it and hope for a caution. You can see on the track map there, Tracy Passion's just coming by the start-finish line. And that group out in front that's just coming off of turn number 2, that is Garrett Kinder. So they are about a half a lap, maybe the full length of the back straightaway in front of Tracy Passions in this group. But they are running significantly faster. And again, I just don't think that they're going to have enough fuel to hold out. So with the time loss that Tracy Passions and this group back here are having, if I was them, I'd personally be hitting pit road sooner rather than later, instead of giving up all that time on track. So it's going to be about when this group comes down pit road. Not if this group, but when. We know they're going to have to come down and pit. They are coming up on another group of cars where they might be able to use a little bit of draft here to save a little bit of fuel. In front of them, we see Mike Veith, Tyler Rice. This group is led by Josh the Jet Oswald, Jason Lottridge, William Griffith, Charles Stevens Jr., Mike Veith, Alex Veith in this group. Dave Jones is actually part of this other group. And Tracy Passion's now catching this group out in front. As they are actually racing for position pretty hard as the leaders are coming. If I was Tracy, I might think about just riding behind these guys, trying to save a little bit of fuel, but there's no saving in Tracy's mind. He's going to go balls to the wall to the high side. See if he makes it 3 wide on Tyler Rice or if he tucks in line. Ooh, Lottridge got a little loose there. Slid up in front of Tyler Rice for a second as Tracy Passions was coming. Tracy's giving a big shove to Tyler Rice, trying to get that truck moving. And that's going to put Tyler Rice, the last truck on the lead lap. As Tracy Passions is trying to lap everybody on that lower lane. Josh Oswald, though, fighting back hard. And while these guys are fighting side by side, that's allowing Garrett Kinder and that group behind to continue to catch up. Again, they've got a long ways to go. And I don't know if I was in this group right here, if I'd want to be up on that second line and chance something happening, getting caught up in any kind of wreck. Last time by, Tracy Passions ran a 50-53. Garrett Kinder ran a 48-9. As you see just how much nicer this group is lined up. That's allowing this back group to continue to move. Now Tracy Passions slides back, lines up in line, and this might save him a little bit of fuel here. See if he can make it to the end. Nope, here they come down on the pit road. I knew they were going to have to pit, and here they go. Now can they make them get on and off of pit road quick enough to keep out in front of Garrett Kinder in that group? We'll throw up the track map, and you can see Kinder is just coming off of, or just going into turn number 3. Tracy Passion still hasn't reached his pit stall yet. There he goes. But now these drivers all have to stay low on the apron, as here comes Garrett Kinder and this group right on by. And they've left them in the dust, so you can see Garrett Kinder out in front by quite a bit over where Tracy Passons and them are. See, Josh Lokovitz, the first truck to make it off of pit road, and he's just coming off of turn 2. He's got to keep it down on that apron till they go past that blue cone. And at this point, now they are 5 seconds behind this group that Garrett Kinder is leading. And we're coming down to just 16 laps to go. Now this group back here should be good on fuel. They last pit on lap 30. And we saw Tyler Rice make it 35 laps. Yes, there was a caution thrown in there, but they should easily be able to go 30 laps. Question is, are they going to have, if there's a green-white checker, does that change things? How much fuel do these drivers have to save? Are they even concerned about saving? Right now, it doesn't look like it. As Garrett Kinder still has that pedal mashed down to the floorboard. And we cross the line this time, we'll have just 15 laps to go. So Garrett Kinder leading this group. This will be the battle for the win. Is Eddie Smith going to be comfortable riding behind, or is he going to try to make a move? Or maybe somebody else towards the back makes a big move here towards the end. We'll have to wait and see, as it's way too early to make any kind of a move right now. These guys are going to want to wait until they're probably less than 5 laps to go, because in reality, your leader is a sitting duck at this point. Because once one truck starts to go around, everybody's going to start to go around. Right now we see everybody still continuing to run single file. Take a look back at the second group, led by Tracy Passions. They've gone around that other group of trucks. But at this point, they are almost 13 seconds back with 12 laps to go, and there's no way that these guys will be able to run a second a lap faster. In fact, right now, they're almost running half a second slower than your lead group. See them come off the corner. You've got this second group back here. Tyler Rice still trying to work that high side. Just not able to make anything happen. As Garrett Kinder leads him down the backstretch right now and towards turn number 3. And when we cross the line this time, we'll have just 10 laps to go. Can we keep it green for the next 10 laps? We see a couple of these drivers running really hard towards the back of the field, so we'll have to see if they're able to keep it straight. You know, the last thing that's on Garrett Kinder's mind right now is a caution to come out. The other thing he's thinking about is who's going to make the move behind him and what kind of move is he going to have to try to block. The entire field continues to run single file. Who's going to be the first driver to try to pull out of line? See a little further back, it looks like Mickey Isaac, Christopher Heiner, both falling back a little bit, maybe trying to get a little bit of a run here to see if they can put themselves in a position to get the win as Nick Schaefer pulls off on the pit road. And this isn't a bad strategy here. They're right off the back of Curtin Church, just enough of a draft to be able to get a run. And you see Isaac now making that run happen here, and you can see just what I was talking about. Now those two can hook up and get a run up on the high side, see if they can get something going to try to challenge for the lead as we have 8 laps to go. Here comes Jonah Cobert blocking up the high side as well. There goes Brandon Wallace up to the high side. There's the first moves made. Wallace thought about tucking back down in line in front of the 54 of Dale Cunningham, but was not able to as that gap closed quickly. And now we've got a couple drivers up on that high side trying to make it, take advantage and see if they can put themselves in a position to get the win. See the 62, Nick Schaefer down on the apron, just came off of pit. I'm sorry, that's not Nick Schaefer. That is yes, that is Nick Schaefer. I apologize. Ooh, big wiggle out of the 78 of Cody Bohm as he jumped up to the high side in front of Brandon Wallace. And now we've got another challenge coming up here, trying to get up towards the front. We have 5 laps to go. I apologize, 6 laps to go. Now is Eddie Smith going to see that run on the high side and move himself up there to try to get the win here tonight? Or if he's going to stay tucked underneath Garrett Kinder's bumper and continue to push him towards the front? Is Christian Deadman possibly going to make a move up to the high side? Jonathan Cofield, who's going to win it? It's anybody's race right now. Anybody in the top 11 or top 10 can really win this race here tonight. Got two lines now formed up side by side as we come across the line this time. 5 laps to go. And I'm still thinking it's just a little too early to try to make any kind of a move. You don't want to be out there a sitting duck. And we see Cody Bohm up on the high side trying to run down the hill, trying to get a little bit of momentum. That's something you can do. You can run right up against the wall and in the middle of the corner start to turn down the hill just a little bit. And the truck can actually gain a little speed coming down through the banking. Now we have just 4 to go. Garrett Kinder still out in the lead. Still has Eddie Smith on that back bumper, but how long is Eddie Smith going to stay there? Does the opportunity rise for Eddie Smith to jump up to the high side to go around Garrett Kinder? Could it be somebody a little further back? Could we see a third row possibly make their way up towards the front? Eddie Smith with that big shove to Garrett Kinder. Right on that back bumper, doing everything he can to keep Garrett Kinder out in front. Off of turn number 4, down to the tri-oval. Just 3 laps to go. We did hear a truck just out in front of our leaders here. Will the lap truck, we see it just going into turn number 1, will the lap truck come into play? Is there a possibility of a green-white checker? We just saw up in front of this group, those drivers are battling hard for position. This gaggle of trucks right here, this is not too far in front of our leaders, as they're still running side by side for position. Schaefer's going to stay down on the apron and let the leaders right on by. We have just 2 laps to go. Can we stay green for 2 more laps? Can Garrett Kinder stay out in front? Or is Eddie Smith going to dump him, jump up to the high side and go around? If that happens, is his Reaper teammate, Christian Deadman, going to help him get the win? A lot of storylines here wrapping up with just a lap and a half to go. Cody Bohm still fighting hard on the high side. Garrett Kinder's teammate, Brandon Wallace, up on that high side, pushing that 78. Deadman pushes up the track just a little bit. Almost broke the momentum of the 99, but he stays locked on that 78's back bumper. If the white flag comes out, the yellow flag will be put away. White flag is in the air, 1 lap to go. Who's it going to be? Garrett Kinder comes down into turn number 1, holding down on that yellow line, trying to break the momentum. Eddie Smith is clear of Cody Bohm. Is Eddie Smith going to make a move up to the high side? Come down the backstretch. Christian Deadman thought about making it 3 wide for a second. He's going to stay tucked in underneath the 87's bumper, down into turn number 3. Who makes the last ditch attempt here? Christian Deadman jumps up to the high side. Cody Bohm stays with him. Cody gives him the big push. Now here they come down to the tri-oval. Christian Deadman with the run, but Garrett Kinder is going to get the win. I think Eddie Smith, comes home in second. Christian Deadman definitely comes home in third. And then we've got a big wreck after the checkered flag. We still got another race to the line here as Tracy Parsons leads the second group down to the line. And then what's going to transpire out of this group that's still racing hard? This is back 16th on back, and they're racing this hard for position as they're coming down to the tri-oval. It looks like Spencer Gay is going to get turned at the line. But Garrett Kinder gets the overall win here tonight as he comes down to the start-finish line. And he's going to burn it down here. There comes the after race celebratory demolition derby. And I know it's a little late giving it out, but I'm going to have to give the award here for the best looking paint tonight. I know it's a little torn up at the moment, but it's going to go to that 87 machine. See if we can get a look at Eddie Smith's truck before it wrecked here. And yeah, the 87 is going to get my No Neck Paint of the Night award. Great looking Tide Ride right there. Sharp looking truck. It kind of caught my eye all night long. And that is your Paints by No Neck Paint of the Night. Well, let's get in our post-race interviews. Starting with your third place finisher, Christian Deadman. Oh, before I do interviews, I should probably get the results up on the screen. So there you have it. Garrett Kinder gets the win. Eddie Smith comes home second. Christian Deadman in third. Daniel Cunningham and Cody Bohm, your top five. Brandon Wallace, Curtin Church, Jonah Colbert, Chris Heiner, and Mickey Isaac round out your top 10. Tracy Passions, Aaron Adcock, Kyle Roberts, Josh Lokenvitz, Josh Smith. Strategy did not work out for them. They fall back. You got your top 15. Spencer Gay, Josh Oswald, Tyler Rice, Jason Lottridge, and William Griffith round out your top 20. 21st, Charles Stevens Jr., Dave Jones 22nd, Mike Veith, Alex Veith, Charlie Elmore, and Nick Schaefer round out the rest of the field here as we get ready to talk to our top three, starting with the three of Christian Deadman. Coach, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yep.
Man, great job there tonight. I know there wasn't really much you could do being stuck back there a little bit. Tried to make the race-winning move, but just wasn't able to finish it off at the end. But still, third place finish tonight's nothing to sneeze at. What was your strategy coming into the race? How did it change, and what was that move you made there at the end?
Well, pretty much from the start, I told myself I was gonna try to stay linked up with anybody that I was familiar with. So early on, it was Jonah. There at the end, it was Cody and I can't even remember who was behind me now, but just wanted to stay linked up with those guys, some guys that I knew would race clean. And, I was pretty much told myself I was going to be glued to the inside line till the very end, just because there's been too many times in the past I've tried to jump up too early and, I might have gained a spot or two, but then something bad happened. So I just hung it down there, was real patient. And then there at the very end, I saw a little bit of an opening. I told myself if it wasn't wide open, I was just going to stay, kind of take my medicine and take the third place. But it opened up, just didn't quite get enough of a push. But it was a good race. I've always felt pretty confident at Daytona and Talladega and stuff like that. It just seems like I always get caught up in bad stuff at the wrong time. But everything was really clean today. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, typically we saw last season you ran into a ton of bad luck, and it looks like this season that luck's turned around and you find yourself back up towards the front. So congratulations getting up on the podium. That last move though there, Cody Bohm didn't look like he was going to push you there at the end. Did you jump up a little late there, and did the truck get a little out of shape, or was that just wrong, not enough momentum moving forward?
No, I just don't think I quite had. I just don't think I quite had enough of a push. It seemed like maybe Cody kind of checked up a little bit, not wanting to take my rear out or anything, and then Brandon probably checked up. So it was just a lot of courtesy on the track, not wanting to screw anybody up, which is that's always great. Like as much as you want to win it, third place finish is better than getting turned right there at the end and finishing in 10th or 15th or something like that. So, like I said, you get to Daytona and you finish on the podium. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a long season and it's always good to start off, up towards the front.
Absolutely. And again, congrats on the podium. Before we let you go, anyone you want to thank? Any shout you got to give here tonight?
Oh man, shout out to just about everybody on the track tonight. It was just like I said, it was really clean. Usually these plate tracks are a lot of chaos, but only one caution, and I don't think it really tore a bunch of people up. And shout out to all those guys that kind of made that clean pit stop for us. I think that was the winning move as far as what got me where I was at. Just everybody stayed really clean, and it's not like we planned it or practiced it. It was just like I said, a lot of courtesy from everybody. So big shout out to them. Shout out to my teammates, everybody at Reaper Racing. Congrats to Garrett on winning Daytona, and I'm just really excited for the rest of the season. Oh, and got a shout out to Becky and Kinder if they're Becky and Kinder, Becky and Kevin if they're watching also. Love you too.
Well, a great job again tonight, and we look forward to the rest of the season. Good luck as the season progresses. Hopefully, it's a lot better luck than you had last season.
I hope so. Hopefully at some point I'm staying in the winner circle and not in third place.
There you go. Have a great night.
All right, you too.
So that was your third place finisher, Christian Deadman. Let's talk to your second place finisher, Eddie Smith. Eddie, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Hey, Josh.
Man, great run tonight there at the end. Came up one position short. Didn't know if you were going to make the move or if you were just going to stay glued on the Kinder's bumper there. But what was the strategy and what was the plan there at the end to try to get the win?
It depended on kind of like what happened behind me, and when Coach went up there, it was I don't know. I was pretty committed to Kinder's bumper. I'm always happy just to finish plate races. So uh, if I can just keep pushing somebody and get to the end, that would be worth it. So I don't think I really had a plan to pass him. And then once Coach went up there, he was behind me, so that would have killed the bottom line. Probably killed all of our runs, and neither one of us would have finished where we did. So, yeah, just wanted to kind of just keep pushing the 13. I was good with that.
Yeah, for sure. And you say that right there, just finishing these plate races is a battle sometimes. But only one caution tonight, kind of surprising. I don't know if you watched the Outlaw race at all, but they had, I think, 8 or 9 cautions throughout the race. And the fact that we only had, I think, one in this race, really different dynamic. Were you kind of think that there was going to be a little bit more going on, or did you kind of think it was going to be as clean as it was here tonight?
I think if I said I thought it was going to be as clean as it was, probably be lying. But everybody was super respectful. Nobody was doing anything crazy. The wigglers were wiggling at a minimum. So yeah, I think it was just respectful. Everybody was taking care of each other, not trying to side draft too aggressively, and had that one caution, but had some green flag pit strategy there that made it really fun and interesting. So probably one of the best plate races that I've been in a while.
Yeah, for sure. And it looked like a lot of people were just kind of feeling each other out there. But man, congratulations on the second place finish. Before we let you go, Eddie, anyone you want to thank? Any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, I just want to thank you for broadcasting. As always, do a great job. Love intensity. I love what y'all do. Thank William Griffith and everybody at Rebels, all the admins who put together. And I don't know if I'm on a team. I don't really like to say I'm on a team anymore because heck, I like working with everybody. So we was over there working in Reaper's Discord with a few people. So I want to thank them. It was fun strategy. We had a good time and laughed. And thank Brandon Wallace and Garrett Kinder, Coach Cody Bohm for sticking with me and making it easy. So,
Okay, congratulations. I know it's a good points night on the first night of the season, and we look forward to seeing what you do the rest of the season. So good luck.
thank you, Josh.
There you have it, your second place finisher, Eddie Smith. Let's bring in your winner, last year's truck champion, Garrett Kinder. Kinder, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Hey, Josh, what's up, man?
man, kind of starting off the season where you finished last season. I mean, you win the championship and then come out here and win Daytona. That's got to feel pretty special, especially as bad of luck that you had in the first race here tonight. Tell me what the difference was between that race and this week race as far as strategy coming in.
Man, I'm not gonna talk bad about outlaw drivers. I just wasn't familiar with them. And so you race around people you don't know necessarily, and things are bound to happen. Biggest difference tonight, I think, was just like I said, I was around people that I knew and I was comfortable with. The guys I was running with all night, Coach Eddie, Jonah, Daniel, all the guys at Reaper, Brandon, Griff, Josh Oswald, Cody Bain, all of us, man. We were all hanging out, having a good time, cutting it up and laughing. And we were just super comfortable together, and we worked really well together. And that made all the difference in the world. And I was really confident in the people behind me. Honestly, anybody, let me look at the results here. Looks like just about anybody in the top 7, 8 spots could have won that race, and I would have been perfectly okay with it. Just very fortunate. Eddie stuck with me there at the end. Coach had a pretty good run come on the outside with Cody, but man, we brought it home. I'm just super stoked. Got the win out of the way already. Especially with Phoenix coming up next week. Not looking forward to that because I never am. But man, I'm happy. The team worked really well together. I think that's what I'm most happy about. We execute our green flag pit stop about as flawless as you can, and I couldn't be happier about it.
Yeah, that seemed to be the turning point. There was that green flag pit stop, and not just the green flag pit stop, but after the green flag pit stop, you guys getting lined up and committing to running single file, and actually we're starting to run down the group in front of you. I know there's 30 seconds in front of you, but you were still running them down, and you were quite a bit faster. So that really shows the discipline that your group had there at the end to get yourself up front. Were you concerned at all that maybe Eddie or Christian might have got you there towards the end, or somebody might have jumped out of line and tried to challenge you there?
Jonah was kind of our timekeeper in that whole group, and whenever he said that next group was like 15 seconds back and we had like 5 laps to go, I was like, I didn't care at that point because I knew somebody in that group was going to bring it home. I was going to end up, hopefully, as long as the tragic didn't happen, I was going to end up with a good finish at a super speedway, which is all you can really ask for because it's like playing Russian roulette with a fully loaded gun most of the time. But yeah, after he said they were 15 seconds back, man, just boys have at it and let's have a good time. And luckily I was able to pull it off. Coach had it, like I said, he had a good run come on that outside. I think maybe if he had jumped out a lap earlier, he really could have done some damage. But yeah, I mean, anybody up there that would have won it, I'd been cool with it.
Well, locking yourself into the playoffs in the first race is always a good feeling. So congratulations on that. Before we let you go, anything you want to thank, any shots you got to give here tonight?
Well, of course, got to thank the field, everybody that hung out over in the Rebels race comms, especially all my teammates, Coach. Trying to remember, we've got new people, and I'm trying to remember all off the top of my head. We got Coach, we've got Cody Bain, Brandon Wallace, Seth Griffith. Well, I know I'm forgetting at least one, and I'm going to get in trouble if I forget them. Anybody that runs Reaper Racing, I appreciate y'all that all the help y'all gave. Man, it was just a lot of fun. Got to thank Kinder Farm and Ranch, new paint scheme this season, and starting it off on a good note, and getting the W taken care of early. Everybody over there at JC Motorsports as well, they hopped over and were running with us, and man, we just had a good time. Like I said, Kinder Farm and Ranch, Ratchet Speed Shop, both of them on the truck. Both of them they keep supporting me season in after season after season, and couldn't ask for a better support system than what I've got going right now between teammates and people back home cheering me on. Big Frig and Cross 5 cattle coolers. If you want to keep your stuff hot, keep your stuff cold for cheaper and longer than anybody else, make sure you check out Big Frig and Cross 5 cattle coolers at bigfrig.com. Ray Page over at Wolfpack Racing. This is the same spiel I gave you last season, man. I feel like I'm a broken record sometimes. But he's a good guy to know. Once again, all my teammates, Reaper Racing, and then also my short tracking team, Velocity Motorsports, with Shock Eye Racing Performance and Superior Performance Motorsports. And man, everybody that keeps this league running, this series, Griff's head honcho of the league, head honcho of this series, and he does a great job. I think it's evident tonight that we had did we have a caution? I honestly don't remember.
You had a caution right at the beginning.
Had one caution. I mean, one caution at a plate race for Original Rebels Racing League. Josh, you've been around since day one. Is that not an improvement?
Yeah. I mean, especially from the first race to the second, and I'm not talking anything bad about the first race. So don't take it that way. But no, just a totally different it seemed like a different mentality out there. Just a little more riding around, getting comfortable with each other before going balls to the walls. But you guys put on a great show tonight, and again, congratulations on the win.
I appreciate it, man. And thank you up in the booth. I love having Intensity back on board this season. Y'all put out a great product. Folks at home, I know he's probably already told you, go check out their merch and stuff over at, I think it's intensitybroadcasting.com. Is that right?
That's correct. There is a link down below in the description.
Y'all check them out. Give them some love. They do us good every season, and we'd appreciate any support y'all can give them.
Yeah, and also, I don't know if you've been on there, Kinder, but Atlee now has his racing merch down there as well. So you'd be supporting the young man's bandolier
Right.
career as well.
All right.
Well, again, Kinder, congratulations on the win. We look forward to seeing what you do the rest of the season, and good luck from here on out.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
So there you have it. Garrett Kinder, your winner here tonight. We want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight on Intensity Broadcasting. Again, whether you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, we do appreciate you joining us tonight. Don't forget to check out our truck doubleheader on Tuesday night. We'll have the Doghouse Racing League and the finale of the SCSRA Truck Series. Xfinity on Wednesday night with the SCSRA. Thursday night, Thunderstruck. Friday night, we're back with the Rebels. It's not the Xfinity Series anymore. It is the Grand National Series running the Gen 6 cars. Sunday night is the Send Cup. Saturday night, the Send Cup Series. Sunday night, truck doubleheader. You've got a full schedule of racing here on Intensity Broadcasting. And then, as Kinder said, check out our merch store. We really do appreciate you. And as our boy Atlee, Atman Weiss would say, over and out.